Turn it up! Hey, KTM fanboys! KTM fanboys rejoice on the VroomVroomDana channel! The time is now! Oh, oh my god! More power. More power than the Husky already. First thing I noticed. Oh god, it handles like ass though. That thing rips, no doubt about it. That thing's fast. Man, you guys have been wanting me to get on a KTM for so long. This is definitely going to be interesting. I'm going to be unbiased. I'm not going to be like, oh, it's hard, I don't like it. I'll tell you guys exactly how I feel. Travis thinks otherwise. He thinks I'm just going to hate it because it's a KTM. I don't hate KTMs. I just say I hate KTMs. Just because I have a Yamaha, I feel like it's a feud that just has to go on, and now that I ride a Yamaha, I feel like I gotta say I don't like them. Oh man, she lugs so good. That 300 power is unreal. So much low end power, so much bottom end. I just ride it in a gear too high everywhere, it doesn't even matter. This is a cool trail too. Oh man. It is sketchy. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Woo-hoo. Oh, I forgot. Got a button on these things. Oh man. Dude, it's gnarly. Why doesn't this thing want to idle? Oh, that was exhausting. Man, I can't not get used to the handling on this bike. I feel like I'm all over the place with this thing. It's a little off. Not sure if it's just the steering on the KTM or if the bars play a big factor. You guys gotta let me know down below, but it's the first thing I noticed is so far, steering wise, the worst one out of them all, but motor wise, as a lugging power, probably the best one. I do like the motor more on the KTM than I do the Husky, but I like the handling a little more on the Husky, but maybe that's just because I just got on the bike. We'll see. That's just my first impression. Riding is unreal out here. So sick. Oh, look at this. 2-gate trail. Check that out. Ski handles better. I like the motor more on the KTM.
They should be the same motor, but you like how this one's a little bit smoother at the bottom? Or
power valve stays closed longer.
Is it?
Yeah.
It feels like I have more power. I mean, maybe I don't. I'm just saying what I feel like. I have more power on this than that. Oh no, not the Shirko, the Husky.
Okay.
It was like, that was almost too smooth. This one's a little more bite to it, but the handling is just so heavy.
It comes on a little bit later with the power valve adjuster on that. Plus, it also has the trail-bound power dent pipe on it.
Oh, whoa!
Right over there, buddy?
I think they say when you keep the power valve closed longer, it builds up more torque until it opens up.
It'll
and snaps.
lug and then it'll take off. Yeah.
Right.
Versus allowing the power out earlier. So.
This is when power hits sooner. It's like spinny hit, but it doesn't lug as much.
Right.
Oh, this one lugs like crazy.
That's how I have mine set up. I have my power valve actually in probably another turn and a half from there.
That's what I was talking about in the video, how much this thing just lugs. Like, I just rode it a gear high up everything, and just up everything.
Pretty crazy.
But the steering, I'm just not.
That moose feels dead to me. Like, I mean, looking at it right now, you can see how soft it is. The moose on that bike is...
Maybe that's what it is.
It feels like the front tire's a little flat. That's making a difference on it for sure.
It just feels heavy.
If you ride air in your tires, the mooses definitely don't feel that good compared to air, but they're bulletproof, and that's why we run them. That one, you can tell just looking at it, it's a little soft right there, so that's gonna...
Perfect for the boulders at King of Motos.
Exactly, exactly.
But on this high-speed stuff, it doesn't feel the best.
Travis made a very good point while we were sitting back there taking a little break. I just noticed, I didn't notice it when I got on the bike, so I didn't think that was the problem, but I think the reason I'm saying the handling just doesn't feel right is up front there's a super soft moose, because this bike's going to be used for King of Hammers here coming up, and I think that's what's really dampening the steering for me, and it just feels, it makes, I mean, like, if, for example, if you rode like a flat front tire, I mean, the steering's going to feel dead, and I think that's what's going on with this super soft moose. It's really killing the front end for me, and it's not making it as nimble as I want it to be. That might cancel out the whole steering issue I'm having on this bike. So if we don't put steering into play, and we're talking pure just motor on this bike, so far it does feel really good. GoPro is dead. Brought 2 batteries. I guess it was not enough to record. We got Travis somewhere over here. We had Bo who went up that trail and came back. Yeah, I'm gonna have to update you guys at the truck. We're going back the same canyon that we came up with all the water, so we're going back that same way. But like I said, GoPro died, ran out of batteries. So right now I'm on the Husky. I just got off of the, what did I get off? Oh, the Shirko, and then I'll probably do some KTM riding. We're gonna do like the single track. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to record it, but I'll update you guys back at the truck. We don't have too much riding left. I think we're only got like maybe 30 minutes left and we're gonna be back, so I'll update you guys soon. Alrighty guys, so unfortunately that is all the footage I got from the KTM 300 Enduro model. I did ride it for about another 45 minutes after that last clip ended. I included that clip in this video because that was actually when the GoPro died, when I got on the KTM, and like I said, we had about another 45 minutes of riding. If you watched part 2 where I was riding the Husky up through the water, up through the gnarly rock stuff, we actually ended up going back through that, and I did about half of it on the Shirko, and I did the other half of it on the KTM, and then if you guys remember the Skyline Trail, we ended up taking the whole entire Skyline Trail from the previous video on the KTM, so I actually did get more riding on the KTM, although the video doesn't really do it as much justice. I mean, the other videos are about 20 minutes, so it seemed like I rode the other bikes more, and I might have rode the other bikes through a little bit more enduro, but I did ride the KTM on probably more single track than any other bike, which
it's hit or miss. I feel like it's not a bad thing because when I compare the KTM to the other Enduro bikes, if I had to make a comparison, I would say on the bottom end, the Husky and KTM are almost identical. The cool thing about the KTM is it doesn't have the linkage underneath. Did I ever really notice that going through the Enduro? No, but I could definitely see how that could be an advantage so you don't get hung up on some rocks, or maybe if you're going over some sharp objects, logs, etc. That could definitely come into play and really help you out. But if you have a skid plate that covers the linkage, I feel like that helps you kind of slide over anything like that. So for me, that's not a huge factor if it came to purchasing a bike. The linkage issue isn't really a big thing for me. I didn't even realize a difference in the handling having linkage or not handling linkage. I know Travis was talking about how he noticed a difference and how he liked the KTM better than the Husky, but when it came to me actually riding the bike, I really did not notice a difference. So for me, like I said, not a selling factor. When it comes to the hard enduro stuff, when you're going through the really tight technical sections and you really need that bottom end power, I feel they are almost hand in hand for the Husky and the KTM. I might give a very, very slight advantage to the Husky, but that's like you get an A on a paper, an A+ on a paper. It's still a great grade. You cannot really go wrong with either bike. When it came to the single track stuff, the KTM kind of fell off for me the more I rode the other bikes. The flat moose up front with the low PSI probably did not help my situation at all, but just the overall handling of the KTM through the really tight single track, there was some flowy stuff or some really rutted out stuff where I had to pick my lines. I felt like I struggled the most on the KTM. I know the moose probably plays a fact in that, but I don't think that's going to solve the entirety of the problems, and that's kind of where the KTM fell off for me. When the day started, I actually put the Husky behind the KTM, but at the end of the day, I'm not really sure where I stand, because when I rode the KTM, I felt like it had more power than the Husky. Like, it kind of had more of a bite to the bike, and I like that. I like that more than the Husky, but comparing that to the Shurko, I felt like the Shurko had that same bite. But then again, the KTM doesn't have the vibrate. It's kind of hard, but I felt that the Husky and the KTM were very close bikes, and they both had their advantages and disadvantages. But that's what the next video is going to be about. I'm going to be talking about the three bikes, the Shurko, the KTM, the Husky. I'm going to tell you guys where they shine. I'm going to tell you my overall pick, and it depends on what you ride, and I'll tell you what I thought from about the 6 hours of riding we did. I try to split up the bikes as much as possible so I could get some feedback from every single one. So that'll be coming to the next video. Again, I'm sorry about the not as much footage on the KTM. You could blame me for not stocking up more batteries, since I did ride the KTM a lot at the final end of the day, and I just didn't have the batteries for that. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like down below. Comment on the video. Are you a Husky guy, Shurko guy, or a KTM guy? I'm interested in hearing your guys' opinions. And with that being said, I'll talk to you in the next video. If you haven't seen the Shurko video or the Husky video, those have both been posted before this video, so be sure to check those out so you can see footage from both of those bikes as well. So I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Deuces.